This is Mocha Tea. I'm Kapri.
This is Mica.
And we have a special guest with us today. Oh, look, there's Dontae. Oh, there you go.
Go ahead and introduce your girl. That was you right on your part. What's name her?
Dontae.
I'm Dontae.
All right. And we have a special guest with us today. If you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
How you doing, everybody? My name is Hussain Abdullah, CEO of F.E.A.R Homes, author of the book F.E.A.R. Forget Everything and Reset.
Okay.
I like that slogan, by the way. Or I like how you have that broken out here.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All righty. And you are joining us all the way from Brooklyn, New York?
Right now, I'm in Texas, but I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. You live in Texas?
I have houses all over, but right now I'm in Texas.
Okay.
What part of Texas?
Right now I'm in Central Texas in Killeen, Bell County, by Fort Hood, if you know Fort Hood.
How has your day been? How has your weekend been? I feel like in Oklahoma City, we've had a lot going on. The city's been kind of cracking and busy up here. So how's things been down there where you are?
In terms of Killeen is really small. It's a small city, 130,000 people. That's why I like it. One of the reasons why I like it is a change of pace from Brooklyn. So for me, not really too much going on. I mean, it's the first of the month, so it's about to be a busy time in terms of rent. But other than that, just tax season.
Tax season. Okay. I get it. How this goes is I ask a question, you answer, we all answer, right? So, in speaking to you yesterday when we talked, you said you have a wife. I want to ask you, do you and your wife still have like genuine makeout sessions?
No, he's engaged, right? Not a wife.
Oh, you're engaged. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm engaged.
So do you
Soon
and your
wife.
fiance still have genuine makeout sessions?
I'm extremely attracted to my fiance. I know my fiance.
No,
so let me clarify. Let me be very clear.
Okay.
I'm extremely attracted to my fiance. So everything goes. Yeah, like holding hands, the terms of endearment, kissing. All extremely attracted to my fiance. You look on the gram. You'll see her. Extremely attractive. Extremely.
How important is it, do you guys think it is in a relationship to have makeout sessions?
I don't know about makeout sessions specifically, but in terms of intimacy and attraction, that's really important. I mean, your foundation of your relationship can't be physical attraction. It has to be more than that because otherwise it's just dating. But yeah, you want to be attracted to the person you're with. Like I try to get in the gym here and there, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to let yourself go too far. It should go both ways.
Okay. Now, Kapri, when you say like an intimate session, help me understand. Because
I'm talking like makeout. Like
I'm talking
like no sex, just like we just cuddled up under each other, kissing, feeling, like makeout sessions.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, of course. I think if you in a relationship or married or anything and you not having those at some point, like that's gonna get boring as hell.
Well, yeah, I think that's an important part of a relationship in general is intimacy, period. You know, I don't know. Like y'all know, I have makeout sessions all the time because that's the way that I feel connected to my partner. Like, it's, you know, through intimacy and stuff like that. So, I don't know, I guess. But some people don't, Mica. Some, you know, a lot of people don't have intimacy.
But I'm not saying like all the time because, you know, I don't have it like, you know, all the time. But I'm saying at some point if we're not having some type of makeout session, like we never have, you know what I'm saying? I think there's going to be an issue because it's going to be some type of, if y'all not having some type of, I don't know. I just don't think that it would stay strong if y'all ain't got that connection.
I think some people
depends on the people.
I think some people kind of lose, like, so some people consider, like, full-out sex, like, the intimacy part, right? To me, I'm like, Dontae, I need those, like, make-out sessions. So sessions where we just, like, are, like, we're being intimate, but we're not going all the way. Like, we're kissing, we're connecting, we're, like, I'm in your lap, or I'm sitting next to you, or I'm looking up, sitting up, like whatever that looks like. Like I need that helps me be more connected. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we're kind of like in our own world, just the two of us connected in this space right here. And I think sometimes some people consider like full out sex like their intimacy. Like, oh, well, we're intimate, we have sex all the time, right? But not really that true connection that doesn't come that that you get on the other side of just not just sex, but we also get like I don't know, like you get the feeling, like you get the pheromones or the hormones that go along with sex, but still we're not having full on sex.
I got something for you, if I could.
Mm-hmm.
So, a term that we throw around here in terms of business and in terms of our lifestyle is delayed gratification. So, for the adults in the room, we know that delayed gratification makes everything better by the time you get what you're looking for, no matter what it is. Whether it's a car, a purse, whether it's sexual, what have you. So in terms of being a businessman, pre-COVID, I would fly about 8 times a month. Because we have offices in different cities. I invest in different cities, whatnot. So a lot of times I travel, do like what I call like my little world tour. So in terms of my relationship, we have that time where we're not necessarily together. So you get those texts, you get those phone calls, we get to send a picture here and there, like, oh, what you got on today, this, that, and the third. So that also kind of keeps it fun, because when you're not next to the person you really want to see every day, you think about them. Sometimes you get that person, I don't know if you guys are single or married or whatever, but, maybe you have friends or whatever. Somebody will say, like, why didn't you text me? You wasn't thinking about me? And it's like, nah, I really wasn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's also nice and refreshing to get that good morning text, to get that good night text, to get that little selfie pic or whatever it is. So, it helps. So in terms of that, being apart, having that delayed gratification, I mean, I can't wait to get back home. I can't wait. That also keeps things fresh in terms of being a traveling businessman.
I agree.
I do too.
Yeah, I agree too, 100%.
I think like time apart from and that's really important too. Just even like throughout the day, like even if like you have to come home to your partner, on a regular basis, that time apart from each other, I think kind of extends or gives you some time to kind of be in your world, I'm in my world, and then we're doing our own thing, you know what I'm saying? But then, like you said, those moments that you stop and think about me throughout your day, that you like, you know what, babe, I really miss you. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm just in the dead middle of my stuff, and you send me that message, that kind of stuff matters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, do you guys do sexting? You believe in sexting?
I don't see nothing wrong, but I just never done it.
Ain't that sexting though?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a range to it.
I've never done that.
There's a range to it. You know what it is too? Just because, sometimes my listeners are young or whatever it is, I'm going to say this. For y'all young people, just watch it with the pictures and videos. That's it. That's something that I don't really, because you just never know. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then there's this, I didn't put that out there. I'm a retired math teacher.
Okay.
I taught math in New York City. I worked for the city for 14 years. So a lot of times when I speak, it's like formulaic or it's logic based or this, that, and the third. So I have this theory, and you guys let me know what you guys think about this. Most people only have one relationship in their life that works. Only one. So I'll give you my logic, and you tell me what you think. You date, you get married. Unless you die or one of you guys die in that relationship, that's the only one that works. Now, let's say somebody dies early and you get married again and you stay in that one until you die, then maybe you get 2. But you only get one relationship that works, otherwise you wouldn't have broke up with the other person. So by that logic, 99% of the relationships that you're going to have aren't going to work. So for the young people out there, keep the pictures and videos to yourself. Because that's going to go out for a long time with the way the internet's set up. But what do you guys think about that idea?
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that, but you're right.
Yeah, because you do work. Throughout your life, you end up having, like, you do end up doing a lot of serial dating. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like, I'm just with, now some people do kind of skip that dating process. Some people meet their person in high school and genuinely stay with that person all their life, but that's like a 1% chance.
And that's only one person.
I've never dated.
But even that, like I have an aunt and uncle that met when they were like 15, 16. They married now, 35, 40 years. Still, but that's only one relationship in their life that worked. That's it.
You're right.
You're right.
I think.
You can't argue with that logic. That's very true.
You're right. Because anybody you break up with, it didn't work.
For whatever.
Obviously. For whatever reason, even if it was on, mutual grounds that it did work, it still didn't work.
It still didn't work.
But I'm with you on the videos and the pictures. Like, young people really do need to know that. And that's a good, analogy, to use or logic to use to kids. Like, letting them know, only one of your relationships are ever going to work. So why send your pictures to this dude and that dude and that dude, and next thing you know, everybody got pictures of it.
So this woman, that woman, and that woman.
For just kids, that's what grown people send out too. Shit.
Yeah, right.
We talked about yesterday. You're gonna look up 10 years from now, and them pictures go and them videos on research. You're gonna be like,
Like we said, we hope it was sitting pretty when it show up.
I hope it was nice.
Hope it was propped up and you got a good angle.
It ain't just kids. You never know, because again, that relationship may not work, and you be out there.
Yeah.
You be out there.
Yeah. 1000%.
So, Mica, you've never sexted before? Been in sexting relationships before, ever?
No. No. Because I get it. It probably kind of. Maybe, I don't know. I guess maybe I've sent, sent something to my husband saying something. I might have said something nasty, what's going on.
That's sexy.
That's it.
I know, but I'm trying to think, how you think. I'm pretty sure I have. It's been freaking 13 years. I would have to. Let me get 13 years. I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember, just sitting and sexing now.
Tomorrow. It's a new year, new you. Start tomorrow. Just send them up. Start it off. It's fine. Shake it up.
What about you?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Getting hot and ready, huh?
We do we do often. I say often, maybe, a couple times a week or something like that.
So is there a limit to where you can go? So should sexting only stay in the flirty area, or can it get real vulgar? Do you feel some kind of way if it gets too bad?
Why? Because that's partner. You're doing the act anyway. Don't speak on it.
Yeah. Don't get nasty as you want to. Vulgar as you want to get it. Yeah. If you're doing it, you might as well go all the way. Should give it 150% at that point.
So what about you, sir? Tell me. So since you traveled a lot, was sexting important, or was it just a waste? Let's not sex till I get closer to the house. Men don't do men not want sexting type texts if they're I'm not in Oklahoma, not where you are.
I can't speak for every man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the three of y'all don't have the same opinions on everything, so I wouldn't speak for every man. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I don't know. I'm not really the type. I'll say it like this. 90%, maybe 95% of how I live my life is, believe it or not, just off of feeling. Just off of what feels right. I listen to that little voice. And I like to be human. So I might tell you one thing today and have a difference of opinion tomorrow, and I'm not a hypocrite. That's just how I feel. Feelings are fleeting. You know what I mean? So I'm not the type of dude that answers questions for everybody. I feel like us as black people, we get that enough where we got to answer for everybody. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't know. I don't know what every guy does. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, does anybody else have any questions past that part? No? Y'all have no questions? Y'all ain't getting frisky tonight? No, I'm playing. So, tell us a little bit more about who you are, sir.
It depends. It's hard for me to answer a question like that because I don't know what you think I am. You know what I'm saying? If I asked you, if you have children, you have children?
I do.
Then you're a mother. So to your child, you're a mother. You know what I'm saying? To your significant others, you're a daughter. I don't know. All I know is, hopefully, if you ask other people, they say, I'm a stand-up guy. At the end of the day, if I'm a stand-up guy, I did what I was supposed to do.
We know that so far at this point, you're about to be a husband.
Yeah.
I mean, your father.
Yeah, I'm a father.
You're actually, you sell homes, right? You're a realtor?
No, I'm not a realtor. I'm a consultant. There's reasons for that too, though. But no, I'm not a realtor.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a question. So you say you were a math teacher for 14 years.
Yeah.
How did you make that transition out of doing that?
Because
that's a long time to be a math teacher.
Is it?
I think so.
Well, all right, let's do this. Most teachers become teachers in their early 20s. And to get to 55 to retire, that's a minimum of 30 years. I retired at 37. And I was supposed to retire at 36, but I had a car crash, so I couldn't leave the state because of a court case. Was a whole thing. But I started working for the city when I was like 22. So, I don't feel like it was that long of a time, because I know some teachers that taught 30, 40 years. My mom was a teacher for like almost 40 years. But that being said, the transition was real easy, right? Because it's math. In my business, it's all about multiplication, addition, subtraction, division, decimals. It's very simple. If you want to make a certain margin, that makes something a good investment or a bad investment. We measure time to measure our investments. And what I do is, I'm still an educator. A lot of people y'all know the story of McDonald's? Just kind of y'all know the story of McDonald's? Y'all know Ray Kroc? Y'all know? All right, so I'm going to tell y'all to watch this movie. And this is who I am as a person, right? I'm a teacher. I emanate. It comes off me. I'm a teacher. So the story of McDonald's is there's two McDonald's brothers. That's where they get the name from. But the guy who made them blow up, his name was Ray Kroc. Right? There's a movie on Netflix you can watch called The Founder. So what ends up happening is there's a belief that, all right, what business is McDonald's in?
They're in the business of making burgers, but they're in the business of I've heard that before.
Exactly. I can answer it if you're not sure, but
yeah, I heard it before, but I can't remember. But it's not the burger business.
Exactly.
They're in the business of something else.
Real estate. They're in real estate.
Yes.
So
their real estate. Their business is a real estate. So they're basically looking at real estate. We see the burgers and the fries and the food. But they actually started putting their restaurants in places that were they looked at the real estate, how valuable was the spot that they actually put their restaurant on.
Right. So what Ray Kroc did, I won't give you the whole movie because it's an interesting story, at least I think so. He revolutionized a lot of things with that concept. So McDonald's is one of the largest real estate holding companies in the world. Everywhere you see McDonald's, they own that property. They own that land. So that being said, people ask, oh, you're in real estate. You're in real estate. Nah, I'm not in real estate. I'm in education. I love this. I don't necessarily love flipping houses. I don't necessarily love dealing with tenants. Not necessarily, we help a lot of people, but my business is helping people. So my clients, I teach them how to flip. I teach them how to invest. I teach them how to become millionaires. I teach them how to retire. I mentor kids. I volunteer in high schools. I work with little kids. So that's really what I do. And that's, right now, I'm building a community center in Killeen. You come back out here in a couple months, you'll see it going up. It's named after my mother, who was a teacher, and it's an education complex because the city needs that. You know what I'm saying? I could have bought a Rolls Royce. Now I'm building something so the kids have something because that's who I am as a person. So I think that's a little bit about me.
So another interesting topic, and when you talk about real estate and being in the place of education, have you ever thought about or do you do when you do real estate or when you do some of your properties, are some of your properties low income properties? Do you try to keep that in mind when you're in certain areas or certain places?
The majority of my stuff is low income. Killeen is rough. Killeen is military town, a lot of low income housing here. We're actually gentrifying the neighborhood. I would turn the camera so you can see the map. But basically, we buy in a part of town nobody wanted to touch for years. We're flipping those houses and we're building it up. Now, I got that idea from Brooklyn. When I grew up, the places that you could go right now and get $5 muffins, you couldn't walk down unless you knew somebody in that block. So I experienced gentrification, and now I'm a part of it. The key for me is to make sure that we, or the community, is able to maintain that, because we could gentrify and benefit from that transition, but it just depends. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of reasons that I've experienced why people, they just beat in the head, and that's what fear is all about. It's really about, I can't do real estate. It takes too much money. It's too hard. I don't know somebody. It's this, it's that. It's too far. And real estate is really, really easy to jump into. And I offer those services to people. And I have young people retiring, older people retiring, just changing their lives. That's what I do.
Well, I was going to say thank you.
In the back. No.
So how old were you when you started? Because you said you retired from the school at 37, right?
All right, Dontae, I got you, and then Kapri, I got you. Dontae, what you?
Okay.
No, I want to go back to the gentrification real quick. You said that that you're a part of the gentrification. Now, I know that a lot of people look at gentrification as a bad thing because a lot of people feel like it displaces people and, move like a lot of Black people, because usually it's a lot of Black people that's in low-income areas. Now, the areas that you flip in, are you making it affordable for Black people to still live there? Or is it, like, what's your target market when you do that?
My clients are, if you look, like we follow each other on Instagram, right? Look at my followers. Who's my followers? People like us, young people, 22-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 30-year-olds, all different races. I'm not going to not deal with somebody because they're not Black. But if, like right now, your audience is what? Majority Black? Maybe majority women? I don't know. But if I put out, all right, let's go back to stimulus checks. And this shows you how people are beating the head. I said, look, $1,200. If you give me $500, I give you 5%, $600, 6%, $700, all the way up to 12% if you invest $1,200. Now, most people was getting the $600 over and above what they were already getting. Remember, I'm from New York, so most of these people kept their jobs. They got a free $1,200. Yo, I want to invest, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'll give you 12% for that $1,200. These houses out here sometimes are $30,000, $40,000. So you're talking about $6,000 down, and now you're a landlord with the mortgage. I could get into those numbers if you really want to talk. And people wasn't doing it, but they were close to sneakers. So I used to, and this is in the book, I used to be the dude, like, I'm going to reach out. Nah. There's 7 billion people on the earth. There's enough people who want to get the information, who will reach out and gravitate. So my answer is a mixture of people own these properties. We do rent to own. I do keep people in houses. If you look at my website, you'll see success stories. So yeah, I always try to give back first, and I do have a rent to own program. So we have people that are successful. My afternoon was calling around because we used to do property management. We don't do it anymore. So we're transitioning. And one of the people contacted me today and was like, I'm going to get evicted because I have a $400 bill. And I was like, they're going to evict you? Let me work this out. And long story short, she's not going to get evicted. And that's not even my tenant anymore. So I do that type of stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, I would love for these people to stay in their house, to show them how to pull equity, buy a second one, and then they own both of their houses next door to each other. I would love to do that. But people have to stop being afraid of what they think they know, or with somebody who's never done what I've done. Let them tell them why it's not going to work, which happens all the time. Now, Kapri asked me about when I had my first investment. So my first piece of real estate, I was 18. My first investment property, I was 22. That story's in the book. I bought my first investment property with credit cards.
Okay.
How was that?
You want to tell you about that story? Like, whatever y'all want. Like, I'm answering short so y'all can ask the questions, but I could elaborate. I just don't want to.
No, that's fine. I want to know how that was, because I've never heard of anybody buying an investment.
Exactly, right? Like, that's pretty dope, right? So it's math. Right?
I mean, at 22 is probably dope if you can figure out how to do it and then continue to do it, you know what I'm saying, and not make it something that's like a permanent thing. That's where I would get concerned about it.
All right, so it's all math. And these are the types of tricks I teach people. It's all math, right? So, and this is in the book as well. When I was 18, I moved to Minnesota. My mom sent me away from Brooklyn so I ain't get in trouble. Like the day before my graduation, I got into a fight in my hallway. So, I worked for a Fortune 500 company. rent was only $600. I was taking home over $1,000 a week. I didn't know what to do with my money. I would fly to New York to shop, send a book, just blowing money. And I had a bunch of credit cards and I had no bills. So long story short, I had an opportunity to go half on a property. And I actually just read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad and another book called OPM, Other People's Money. There's different strategies on how to get money if you don't have it yourself. So I was like, man, I got like 40 G's worth of credit card. Actually, at the time, I think I had like 25,000 in credit cards. So I applied for like 4 or 5 credit cards at the same time. That's before Credit Karma, before this stuff. So I was getting them before it really hit my credit. So I ended up with like 50, 60,000 in credit cards. I did a deal where all I needed was 35,000. I cashed them out. They were all 0 interest for 12 to 18 months. I took my rent money, paid it back, boom, boom, boom. I did a couple other plays. And then I just kept shifting the money around. And then basically after, 12, 18 months, all those bills were paid off. And then I started reaping the benefits of my rent money. So what most people do is they get that money and then they go make a new bill. That's why I was like, I don't want to just talk too much. If y'all have a question about something else, but I could go.
Because I get what you're saying.
I could go.
I get where you're going. Because Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches you there. It teaches you not to start creating other bills, but not to create another bill until you have an asset that can actually pay off the bill. You know what I'm saying? So until what does he say? It's a liability until what your assets you have is actually paying for it.
All right. So he explains a liability as anything that costs you money and anything that makes you money is an asset. So a lot of people think that their personal home is an asset because they think that they're building equity, when in fact, it's a liability. And I give this to some of my seminars. I won't give out too much right now, but I'll just tell you, if somebody told me right now, I want to go buy a house, I would talk to them for 10 minutes and talk them out of that because it's a terrible idea. I would never buy another house again for myself, ever again. But I would tell you to always invest first and then let that pay for your next bill. So back to delayed gratification, a lot of people, and I'm sure you know people like this, they make $30,000 a year. They kill themselves. They're in school. When I get this next job, life's going to be different. Everything's going to change when I get this next job. Then they make $50,000. And then they make $50,000 and what they do? Pay off debts, they get a better apartment, or they try to get a house, or they get a better car, or now they start getting this, that, and the third, maybe more haircuts, maybe more nails. And then their bills increase with their income. And they're always poor. And I'm going to use the word poor for a reason. Because poor is not here, and I'm touching my pockets. Poor has nothing to do with your pockets. Poor is all up here. Rich is not in your pockets. Rich is up here. It's a matter of how you conduct yourself and how you live your life. I know, and I have in the book, a story of somebody who got $1 million, and within the calendar year, she called me to help her with her money, and within a calendar year, blew her $1 million and could not make her investment in October. Blew it, and it's Balenciaga'd out. All the Balenciagas. So many Balenciagas you couldn't imagine. And has no money right now and nothing to show for it.
Wow.
That's a lot of people. A lot of people do that. And I always say it's not about how much you make, it's how much you have at the end of it. At the end of the month. To me, that's my motto. It's not about how much you make, because you can make a lot of money and then you spend it and you still don't have anything.
Yeah.
The other part is, unfortunately, we don't teach financial security. That comes after typically in the average Black person's life, that comes after you've blown through something, got bad credit, and then you trying to dig yourself out, right? That's typically how you learn about finances, credit, like you said, delayed gratification. I think those are things that we should be teaching little kids, delayed gratification. Okay, so I get you on McDonald's, right? But we don't eat McDonald's every day. Maybe we eat McDonald's once a month. And what we do is we take your money that you learn from the lawn care, we put it up. But we can use a little bit of that money to buy the McDonald's that you get once a month versus you gotta have this whenever you feel like you want it, or whenever you feel like this is just something you want. And I think that's a lot of the reason why we end up here. But you said she couldn't make her investment in October, so like that means that she spent up all her money. She could, like
Balenciaga.
Exactly.
First class, steak and lobster parties, and you know, and it's in the book. And I'm gonna say this: I retired 2019. Between 2019 and now 2021, I've had so many resets. I remember when it happened, I was like, damn, like I was mad. Because I was supposed to get $50,000 off that deal. And I was counting that 50 because I was going to buy another building that I flipped, whoop-de-whoop. I was ready. I was literally going to pick the 50 up to make another move. I was in another contract. And then got the call, like, yo, I don't have nothing. Maybe I could give you 10 or 20. I'm like, nah, it's 50. It's 50. And then in 48 hours, I got another 45, 42, something like that, 42,000. And I made that deal, but, you know, I had to leverage certain things to make sure I didn't drop that deal, didn't drop this deal. And I just finished paying that last thing off in December. Last year, I paid off $733,000 in debt.